It's Ash from Super Videos back for another live stream Q&A. This is Q&A number 192. Before we get started here, I do want to share a link. So as some of you might have already seen, if you follow me on my social media pages, I am thinking of starting to watch and react to new shows other than Walking Dead. So I have a poll going on Straw Poll. I'll leave a link in the chat. You guys can go and put your vote. So there's a few shows that I have on there that you can vote on. So I have, and these are non-Walking Dead related. So Stranger Things is one of them. I've actually watched the first 2 seasons, but not the third one. So what I might do, if that gets the highest vote, is I might start like from season 2 and watch all the way to the current time. And I say season 2 because I gotta catch up. I gotta remember what actually happened. I remember season 1 pretty well, but not season 2. Second choice is The Mandalorian. I've got a lot of requests for that. So I'm putting that on there. The Punisher. I've heard a lot of great things about that. Breaking Bad, The Haunting of Hill House, Chernobyl, and Westworld. So these are the options. You guys can go there and vote for what you want me to watch and react to on the channel coming up in the next few weeks. So with that, let's jump right into the comments, and I'll bring this up at the end of the stream as well, just in case there are people who don't see it now and they join us later on. Giuseppe Doza, what's up, Ash? How are you, Giuseppe? Glad you could join. Animated Alex, sup, my Walking Dead fanboys. How are you, Animated Alex? Glad you could join. Animated Alex, if Negan killed Aaron, I think Negan would have died. If Negan killed Aaron, I think Negan would have died. I don't understand when in the timeline you're talking about. Like when, or are you saying if it was Aaron that was, I don't know what you're referring to. But yeah, if Negan kills Aaron, they would have killed him on the spot, I think. Not on the spot, but that they wouldn't have held the council, I can say that. If that's what you're referring to, then I think you're right. Animated Alex, what vibe or tone will the Rick movies, maybe some sci-fi vibe or something? I don't think it'll have too much sci-fi vibe to it, maybe a little bit, but I think it'll definitely have some more horror vibe to it, more than Walking Dead does. And obviously, because the budget is hopefully higher, they'll have a little bit more breathing room in terms of making sure that the CGI is on point, making sure that everything that they do in terms of sci-fi or horror is on point and they're not holding anything back. Because at some points during the last few seasons, it did seem like the budget was hurting the quality of the show. So I'm hoping that the quality of the movies is great, and to do that I think you do need some reasonable amount of budget, so I hope that they have that taken care of as well. Let me see if I can do this. I don't know. And I don't know if I can do this, but I'm going to try. And what I'm doing right now is trying to add the poll to the screen so you guys can see a live version of it. And I don't know if that's possible. It should be. Okay, let me. So let me try something out here. So There we go. So let me just do this to make it smaller so you guys can see me too. There we go. We'll have the poll there. Actually, I don't know. Let me put it here. And I'll make it a little smaller. So that's the poll. You guys can go and vote. And I can refresh the results whenever. All right, so let me get back to the questions here. Go pro-life. What do you think is going to happen to Negan after he joins the Whispers? So I'm gonna let me see, because I don't want my knowledge about what happens in the comics to come out, because I think you haven't read the comics. So what I think Negan has to do, or what he's gonna do, he has two choices. Either he's gonna join the Whispers and really go against the survivors, or he's going to try to hit the Whispers from the inside and to break them down from the inside, break them down from the inside. So he has these two choices. The first choice, I don't really see Negan as a Whisperer. His lifestyle doesn't fit the lifestyle of the Whispers. There are certain things that the Whispers do that we've seen Negan is against. Specifically in the comics, they really showed that. So I don't necessarily think that he would really want to join the Whispers. So the other choice he has is to try to join first, but then break them down from the inside, and use that as a tool to redeem himself against the survivors. So there's these two choices, but I'm leaning more towards him actually taking the second choice and not actually wanting to join the Whispers. Whoa, what happened here? Let me change this again, because okay. Okay, that's not gonna work. I'll just keep it here. And I'll refresh it whenever. Yeah, the poll is still up. You can't see the title, but yeah, that should be fine. All right, I'm all over the place here. All right, let's get back into it. Animated Alex, because when Negan and Aaron were together, if Negan killed Aaron and later killed the girl later on, he wouldn't have gotten executed. He would have gotten executed for it, probably. I think you're definitely on point on that. If Negan killed Aaron when Aaron and Negan were outside and Aaron ran into some trouble, Negan would have definitely been blamed. Even if there was evidence pointing to him not having to do anything or not killing the girl on purpose and actually defending Lydia, they would have no discussion about it. They would have killed Negan on this right away. They wouldn't have held a council or anything. So I absolutely agree with you on that, if that's what you're referring to. Giuseppe Rosa, who's the top vote? Right now, let me see. Right now, the top votes is the Mandalorian with 4 votes. But as I said, sufficient votes are required for me to commit to it. So I gotta at least have at least 100 people or so voting so that I know I'm sitting on a pretty good spot in terms of what I'm covering. I don't want 100 people to vote on one thing, but I do want to have a good amount of people voting so I know, where the different opinions are and where the actual demand is. And that's why I'm putting this out for a couple weeks before I actually make a decision. Animated Alex, which villain is, and I'm gonna leave the link again in the chat. So that's the link to the poll if you want to participate, and let me know your thought about what I should react to next. or coming up on the channel, a new show. Animated Alex, which villain is more fearful, the Saviors or the Whisperers? I would say the Whisperers because the Saviors, I feel like they had some sort of boundaries thanks to Negan, but the Whisperers don't. Even if you follow their rules, they don't care. We saw that because they followed their rules, apparently, but Alpha still had spies. Alpha still had his spy contaminate the water, or had Gamma contaminate the water to try to kill the survivors. And I think it's more personal with Alpha specifically too because of Lydia. So I think most fearful for the survivors, the Whisperers. XL Flames, hi, how are you? Glad you could join, XL Flames. Animated Alex, which one handled the fear aspect better? The Whispers, I think. Giuseppe De Rosa, leave a like unless you're a clown. Thank you, Giuseppe. Giuseppe De Rosa, I'm the only mod here today, I guess. I think so. No, Mario 3 just joined too, I see. So you're not the only one. GoPro Life, only read the comics a little bit. Yeah, I could tell based on your question. But yeah, not that it's a bad thing or a good thing. It's just that I didn't want to spoil it for you because I didn't know if you've read the comics or not. Animated Alex, dislike Giuseppe, lol. GoPro Life, watch The Mandalorian. The show is good as hell. The thing with The Mandalorian, if I get the votes, I will watch it, but I don't have any Star Wars knowledge, so I don't know how much that's gonna, impact my experience watching the show. GoPro Life, the first episode is not slow. That's good to know. Mario, even before Mandalorian, you should watch Breaking Bad. Yeah, I mean, if I had not a choice, but if I really wanted to pick myself, I would probably pick Breaking Bad or Punisher. I think those are way overdue. I should start with those. But I don't want to just do it if there's no demand for it. If you guys don't care about me watching those right now. I might watch it on my personal time later, but I'm not going to react to it if it doesn't get the right votes. Mario 3, then after Breaking Bad, Mandalorian. Giuseppe De Rosa, Mandalorian is awesome. So far, that's the votes we've been getting. 4 votes for Mandalorian. But again, I'm hoping I get about like 100 votes at the end of this to be able to make a good decision. And I'm not saying I'm not going to do it if I don't get it, but if I get like maybe 20 votes at the end of all this, I might not, I might watch the pick, but I might not react to it right away. So we'll see. Giuseppe Dorza, Star Wars is awesome. Animated Alex, I agree the Saviors were only tough in looks and numbers, but they were just weak. Here's the thing. The Saviors, I feel like Negan was the one holding them together. If Negan wasn't there, who knows what they would have turned into. And even if they would have even been together, I could easily have seen some sort of civil war inside the Savior's structure or organization if Negan wasn't around. Tom himself, what up, fellas? How are you? Tom himself, glad you could join. And I know what most of these are, but I don't know what this is. Like that's for drinking, that's for weed, but what is this? But yeah, glad you could join anyway. Giuseppe Rosa Saviors were sucky fighters. Some of them, but some of them no. Some of them were actually pretty tough fighters. GoPro Life, I recommend you watch Star Wars live action movies, then The Mandalorian. I'm not a big fan of Star Wars, so if I have to watch those to watch Mandalorian, I'm gonna skip on it. Or skip it. I'm not really a Star Wars fan. I'm not really a sci-fi fan, to be honest. I'm more into horror. action or not, yeah, action and horror and mystery. Um, with even superhero movies, I'm not really that into. With sci-fi, I'm not that into either. But it depends with sci-fi. But Mandalorian or Star Wars, again, I'm not really too much into that. That's why I'm a little skeptical about watching Mandalorian, even if I don't have to watch Star Wars, because um, I don't know if I'm gonna connect to it as much as you people think, or you think that I'm gonna connect to it. And I don't know if it's gonna be entertaining for you guys, because most of it is probably gonna go over my head, or it's not gonna. I'm not gonna react to it to the way you think I'm gonna react to it, because I don't have the prior knowledge or um, the passion. You know what I mean? Mario 3, I suggest Breaking Bad as first thing. The show's really good. Yeah, I've heard that many times, and I'm hoping that's what's gonna be on top list, at the top of the list. But again, I left the link to the poll just in case there's new people here that haven't seen the poll. So we have a poll about what show I should watch next and react to next, as well as Walking Dead. I'm not stopping Walking Dead, but it's just a new thing we're gonna do. So if you haven't voted, make sure to go and vote using the link that I posted. But yeah, Breaking Bad is definitely up there in terms of my own preferences. Punisher is there as well. Um, Giuseppe De Rosa, Ash, right now I don't like Star Wars that much. Later, Star Wars is amazing, spaceships and shit. Um, yeah, I can't comment on that because I haven't even watched Star Wars, like I said, but I'm not too into sci-fi. Mario 3, I think you may pull with too much good things in it, and it won't go well for Breaking Bad, I'm sure. I think you made pull with too much good things in it, and it won't go well for Breaking Bad, I'm sure. Um, well, I try. Here's the thing. I try to have a variety of things, variety in different aspects. One, both old and new shows. So, for example, Haunting of Hill House is I think pretty new. Chernobyl is pretty new. Stranger Things is pretty recent. Westworld is pretty recent. And older shows like Breaking Bad and The Punisher as well. Also, different variety of uh, like type of shows, sci-fi, horror, um, what do you call it? Um, just mystery, and superhero movies or superhero TV shows. So I tried to have a different combination of everything. And the only reason I didn't put Game of Thrones is if I put Game of Thrones and if it's picked, I'm gonna be watching that for like the rest of um like maybe 10 years, because I'm not gonna be able to watch one episode a day. So that's why it's gonna drag on and it's gonna carry on. And it's done now, so I know it's a great show, but I don't know if it's the type of show that it makes sense for me to start watching and reacting to right now. Animated Alex, what if Alpha met Walter White? Battle of the Baddies. LOL. Uh, I can comment on that if when I watch Breaking Bad. Right now, I can't comment on that. Tom himself, Breaking Bad, and or Westworld. Those are definitely great picks too. Again, my own preference is Breaking Bad first, and then maybe The Punisher. But yeah, we'll see um, where the votes are gonna be. Giuseppe De Rosa, Star Wars isn't really sci-fi in my opinion. It is, isn't it? I think it's sci-fi. It's categorized as sci-fi. GoPro Live, have you seen the reboot of It? The movie, yes. I watched the first one and the second one. The first one I enjoyed a little bit more than the second one, but overall, I think it's one of those things where there's too much going on. And because I haven't read the books either, to me it's a little bit like there's too much going on. And because of that, I didn't really enjoy it as much as I enjoyed some other horror shows or horror movies that I've watched. But that said, I like the first one better than the second one. Giuseppe De Rosa, it's more drama and action space, but there's still sci-fi components to it, right? Tom himself, if you can do daily videos, maybe that'll boost the algorithm. Yeah, I have been trying to do daily, right? I mean, for the most part, I'm trying with daily video, or I'm aiming at daily videos right now. I might like skip certain videos here and there, or certain videos in a day here and there, but for the most part, I think I put a video at least every 2 days, right? But I agree with you that it does help the algorithm for sure. Giuseppe De Rosa, Negan movie, we need it. Yes, that'll be great, but not now. After Negan is done, Negan's story is done in the show, and I don't mean he has to leave after. He could still be a part of the show, not show up that much, but still be part of the show, and just do the movies as a side project. I mean, Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Negan. Animated Alex, don't worry, Ash. I'm not a Star Wars fan myself. Mario 3, I don't like Star Wars either. Do you watch Mandalorian though? That's the thing. Those are two different conversations right now. Giuseppe De Rosa, would Stephen Hawking return for a Walking Dead movie? If they pay him well. I think he might. He might. If it's an interesting project, if it makes sense, if it fits his schedule, I don't see why not. Mario 3, I hope so. Stephen Ogg is a beast of an actor. He absolutely is. I actually got to meet him during one of the cons that we have in where I am, and he's such a nice guy. But yeah, he's a beast of an actor. I completely agree. He's funny as hell too. But yeah, like I can tell you a story. So we were waiting in line right before it got to me, so I could go and get like a picture and like meet and greet and stuff. But I was waiting in line. There was like a bit of delay. There's things going on, and he just walks around the line, and he's like telling jokes to the people and everything. He's such a cool and interesting guy. So it was a lot of fun meeting him, and yeah, he's definitely a beast of an actor. Giuseppe De Rosa, Ash, you should get cornrows. Laugh my ass off. Just kidding. LOL. I do have to get a haircut though. My hair is long, really long. So I do gotta get a haircut soon. But I don't know about cornrows. Is that a haircut? I think so. I'm not going crazy, right? I'm actually gonna check this. I think I know what it is, but let me see. Yeah, I that's exactly what I thought that was. So I'm not crazy. I got that right. Again, for those of you just joining, if you haven't voted, make sure to go and vote. Yeah, the vote is right here. You can see, can you even see that? Let me see if you can read that. It's still too small, so let me make it a little bigger. Okay, there we go. I'll make the chat a little smaller for now, so that you get to see me here. Does that even help? Let me make it a little bit bigger. I think that'll be fine. There we go. Hopefully you can see the poll question. But yeah, if you haven't voted already, make sure to go vote on our poll. Animated Alex, Angela Kang's been doing good with Whisper's Origins by not showing too much. Absolutely. Even though season 10's been great, I enjoyed season 9 a lot better. And if I were to rank it, and I think it doesn't make sense right now because it's halfway season 10, but season 9, season 6, and then season 10 so far. In terms of favorite seasons. Actually, no, season 6, then season probably 5, and then season 4, and then season 10. But again, it doesn't make sense to vote or to rank it right now because we're halfway through season 10 only. But yeah, Angela Kang's been killing it. She's been doing a really good job presenting the Whispers and giving us backstories that fit, that make sense for the story, and that are entertaining for the audience as well. Tom himself, I'll rather see Breaking Bad again or Westworld, to be honest. Ash, I got no interest in new shows, to be honest. Yeah, Westworld is an interesting one because it has its own kind of audience that are not too active online, I would say. So that's an interesting one, if that's the one we're going with. But for me, I think Breaking Bad would make the most sense, especially because, um, especially because there is a movie on it now. I think there was a second show on it. So if I get that out of the way, and if it if I like it, then I'm gonna move on to the other show, Better Call Saul, I think it's called, and the movie for Breaking Bad. Giuseppe De Rosa, who's the best showrunner? Ooh, interesting question. It all depends, and it's difficult to say because each showrunner did their thing. I mean, and they impacted the entire show in some way, shape, or form. So I don't think it's fair for me to just pick one and say they're the best, because there were storylines during the Scott Gimple era that I absolutely enjoyed, but there are certain um, stories that I think Angela Kang did an amazing job at. One was the Rick Grimes exit thing, the Whisperers introduction, and the backstory for the Whisperers. So I don't think it's fair to, pick that or pick one of the showrunners and say they're the best. Um, I've been enjoying Angela Kang a lot, but there are certain things that in my head I'm like, yeah, I do see Scott Gimple, or I can see Scott Gimple could have done it better based on his style. And the opposite. Scott Gimple did certain things during his era that Angela Kang would have done much, much better. Mario 3, do you think containers with marking A's in both 416 and 807 was CRM related? I and 807 for sure, but 416 no. I think that was just a coincidence, and I don't think those are related whatsoever. I know there's been a thing about A's on The Walking Dead before CRM was even a thing, so I think that's its own separate thing. But the A's related to the CRM thing, I think they only started in season 7 forward. So anything you see about A's season 7 forward is CRM related. Mario 3 416 is also called A. Yeah, I remember that episode with the A container with the cannibals. Tom himself, but I'll still support you as always. Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate the support. Animated Alex, do you think the Red Machete will be in the Rick movies? I doubt it, but we might see it. We saw the web series, right? Or the, what do you call it? The web series, miniseries, whatever you want to call it. That showed us what happened to the Red Machete. At the end of it, a female, from the looks of it, picked it up, but we never saw who it was. There were guesses that it was Madison Clark from Fear. There were some guesses or speculations that it was Alpha, but we don't know. There's been no real confirmation. So, yeah, you could have, or you could explain that by having that character being someone that's at CRM now. And maybe Rick sees the machete and you could use it, or you could make the story work in that sense. But they didn't really confirm what actually happened to it and who took it. Giuseppe De Rosa, Andrew Lincoln as the Wolverine. Hugh Jackman killed that role. I think he did great. So I think Hugh Jackman for sure, not Andrew Lincoln. I don't see Andrew Lincoln as Wolverine. Tom himself, I haven't seen El Camino because I want to rewatch Breaking Bad and check out BCS or Better Call Saul to have the full experience. Yeah, and the El Camino, I think, is the movie, right? Breaking Bad movie. Absolutely. I mean, I'm going to watch if I choose, or if we go with Breaking Bad, I'm going to watch Breaking Bad first, then Better Call Saul, and then El Camino. And I absolutely agree. To get the full experience, you need to watch it in order. Animated Alex Season 10 is good, but it has more flaws than Season 9. Absolutely. And one of the key flaws, I think, of Season 10 right now is how sloppy the Siddiq Dante story was. It was really sloppy. To be honest with you, it felt like Season 10, they just want to make Dante they just started wanting to, or they started thinking about the story to make Dante a spy. Season 9, they didn't have that in mind. It felt like that. So because of that, it felt sloppy, to say the least. That was the key criticism I have of Season 10 so far. And it was a big part of the story too. If you think about it, there was a hint or clue or something that referred to that story in every single episode. So, in a way, it was one of the key storylines of the first half. Mario 3, but Scott Gimple came with A. Also, he never said what it means. True, but at the same time, I feel like if the A's in season 4 were related to the CRM, then it would have been very odd to not encounter them until now. You know what I mean? Giuseppe De Rosa, 415 us, 416A, USA, LOL. I mean, that's one good explanation. I don't know if that's what they had in mind, but that's a pretty cool explanation for that. Giuseppe De Rosa, Owen McGregor as Rick Grimes. Who's Owen McGregor? I don't know him. Let me check. I don't see anyone else other than Andrew Lincoln right now playing Rick, but I'll check out this. I think I know who you mean, but I'll check. Yeah, I knew that was him. No, I don't see anyone at this point, anyone other than Andrew Lincoln as a good Rick Grimes. gonna remove the poll for now. We'll bring it up if we need it. Animated Alex, John Goodman as Rick Grimes. John Goodman. I don't know him. Let me just do a quick search too. John Goodman. John Goodman. Oh. John Goodman was already... Oh, no, he wasn't. I thought he was in Walking Dead already, but he wasn't. No, man. I don't know how you saw that connection, but he's not a good Rick Grimes. And you said LOL, so I'm assuming you were joking, but not gonna work. John Goodman is not gonna be a good Rick Grimes. Animated Alex, I was kidding. Yeah, I got that. Don't worry about it. I knew you were kidding as soon as I saw who it was when I searched the name. Mario 3, I don't know if you knew back in season 3, Daryl and Meryl had a drug dealer who was strictly connected to Breaking Bad. Yeah, I've heard about that before. And you will find out when you watch it. Yeah, I've heard about that. And they didn't really confirm that, did they? I don't think they did. It might have been an Easter egg, but not an actual, like that's what it was, and they're in the same universe kind of thing. Mario 3 Easter egg, yeah. Yeah, I think it was an Easter egg more than them actually like saying it was a connected thing. But it was good, yeah, it was. I know what you're talking about, and if it isn't, if it's in fact an Easter egg, I think it's pretty cool. I don't know the details, but I know the main idea behind the Easter egg. Animated Alex, I hope Rick finds a leather coat just like his one on the show so he could have season 1 Rick back. Or season 5 Rick back. To get season 5 Rick back, the first thing is the beard. It's got to grow long. And then we could get season 5 Rick back. Before we end the stream, I do want to talk about the Telltale's Walking Dead gameplay live stream for this week, the schedule. So we will have one stream tomorrow night at 7:30 or 7:15ish, 7:15 p.m. Mountain Time. And I say 7:15 because I want it to be right in the middle because I don't know when I'm going to be able to get to it. But I think around 7 to 7:30 I should be able to go live. So around that time, 7 to 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time, we'll have probably an hour session for Telltale's Walking Dead, continuing with season 2 as we were doing, or continue it, and then another one Wednesday, same time, 7 to 7:15 p.m. Mountain Time. So one Monday, one Wednesday. Tuesday, I might put out some videos that I have planned, but no live stream or anything like that. Thursday, we're doing another TBT Throwback Thursday Walking Dead video. In that one, I'm gonna do top 10 premieres, top 10 Walking Dead premieres. Actually, do I want to do that? Because it hasn't changed. It hasn't changed from the last time I did it. So no, I'll do, let me think. I don't know what I'm going to do actually. I might do top 10. Yeah, I'm going to do top 10 Walking Dead characters. I think I did that too. Let me think about it. But anyway, I'll let you guys know in advance, maybe during tomorrow's stream. But Throwback Thursday video is coming Thursday. And then Friday, we have our regular Friday stream or live stream gameplay, not gameplay, Q&A at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Animated Alex, do you think Rick will bite someone's throat out? I don't think so. They've already done that once, so I don't think it makes sense for them to do it again. In the comics even, because they did that twice, the second time around I was like, it's cool, but we did see that. So it was repetitive a little bit. Oh, I think I know what I'm going to do for the Throwback Thursday video. The ranking video. I'm going to do ranking the top 10 scenes from the Angela Kang era. Top 10 scenes, or top 10 scenes, because I just did episodes from season 10, so I don't want to do episodes. So I'll do top 10 scenes from the Angela Kang era. That's what I'm going to do. Top 10 scenes from Angela Kang era, which is season 9 and season 10 so far. So that'll be coming for Thursday. All right, we've been going for 45 minutes, so we'll go for another 5 or 10 minutes or so, and then we'll end the stream. So we're going to get into the rapid fire Q&A section of this chat or this stream, where you ask quick questions and you get quick responses, basically. Animated Alex, I think Alpha was memorable in the beginning, but after memorable, I think you mean. Redeemable. Okay, I think Alpha was redeemable in the beginning, but after learning that she abuses her daughter, decapitated 10 people in front of Sadiq, etc., I see no sign of redemption. Absolutely not. I don't think they could redeem Alpha. Or let me think. I think the moment Lydia was introduced and we learned about Alpha in the show, there was no redeeming her. There was absolutely no redeeming her. So I don't think there was a chance. She had a chance, to be honest. Mario 3, there's a behind-scenes photo with Carol, Negan, and Daryl, which is heavy spoiler, so I won't talk about it. Carol, Negan, and Daryl. There's a behind-the-scenes photo with Carol, Negan, and Daryl, which is heavy spoilery, so I won't talk about it. Yeah, don't talk about it, but I'm just trying to think. Have I seen it? I've seen one with Carol and Daryl, behind the scene look, at the end of the season. I don't know if that's the same, but that's interesting. I've seen another behind the scenes picture that I talked about that was heavy spoilery, but it was in a way not surprising for comic fans anyway. But I did a video on that already. I don't know if you're talking about the same thing or different. For that one, it didn't have Negan, Carol, or Daryl in it, so I'm assuming you mean something else. Animated Alex, not only that, but gave Sadiq PTSD as well. Yeah, all of those together, they made it very hard for us to, or for them to redeem her. Mario 3 basically confirms who let Negan out. I already kind of know who let Negan out based on where the story has been going, and based on rumors and things like that. But I don't know. Maybe it's different. I don't want to know. Or I have my own theories and speculation. Let's just say that. All right, so we are 48 minutes in. We'll go for another 5 minutes, and then we'll wrap up the Q&A session here. Again, for those of you that don't know, you can go vote on our poll about which show we should cover next, or react to next, not cover specifically, but react to. So go to the link that I posted on the chat if you haven't already voted to vote on our poll. Animated Alex, I hope we see a fist fight with Alpha. I hope so too. Carol and Alpha, fist fight will be great. All right, so we're going to wrap it up here. There doesn't seem to be any more questions. So we'll wrap it up. Thanks everyone for joining and asking questions and supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. Stay tuned for our live gameplay stream of Telltale's The Walking Dead. We're on season 2. You can watch that tomorrow at 7 to 7:30. It starts from 7 to 7:30. I don't know exactly the time to the T, but somewhere around there. So 7 to 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time. So make sure to join us live if you're interested in that, and we'll continue the gameplay. Also, we're do the same thing on Wednesday. So Wednesday we'll do a gameplay session. It's gonna start either 7 or 7:15 or around 7 to 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time again. And then the other videos that I'm gonna post, Throwback Thursday on Thursday, which is gonna look at the top 10 scenes from the Angela Kang era, so season 9 and 10. And Fridays, we're going to have the usual live stream at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. And I might do other videos on Tuesday. But that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll